guys, what's up? It's your girl Nurse Channie, and before we get into this week's video, I want to announce the t-shirt winner. So hold on, I'm gonna do the little spinny wheel thing and we'll see who won the t-shirt. Yay! All right, y'all, I'm back. Listen, I went to go download the little spinner thingy on my MacBook. Child, I don't have time. Me and that MacBook don't get along. So listen, we went old school here. I got, for everyone who commented on the video last week, your name is here. It's in the running, okay? And we're gonna just go old school. Look, we're gonna turn them just like when you did the lottery. This is the lottery. We're gonna turn them. We're gonna take them out. We're gonna put them back in. Look, we being fair. We're on video. Y'all see me? Oh, I dropped somebody. Hold on. Yeah. Hold up. 1 and let's just give it another little shimmy. 2. Okay. So we got our 2 winners. That was so dramatic, but you know. Anyway. So 19. Purpose by Design 81 is our first winner, and our second winner is Page 92. So Page 92 and Purpose by Design 81, you all won your Nurses Call the Shots. Congratulations, ladies. Next time, we're gonna figure out how we can do that a little bit more proficiently, okay? So now that we got all that fun out of the way, we're going to get into this week's video. Yes, I said it. No one wants to take care of a COVID-19 patient. And I know I may be getting the side eyes right now. You might be saying,
Miss, you were the one who went to nursing school. You decided you wanted to be a nurse. You decided that you wanted to be on the front line.
No, really, I didn't. I didn't. So yes, it is true. Went to nursing school to learn how to take care of people. And I love what I do as a nurse. But no one wants to contract COVID-19. So obviously, you can be anywhere and get COVID-19 because of the climate that we're in. However, working in healthcare, I believe that it just increases your risk because we're in a healthcare setting working with people who are COVID positive. And so I don't ever want anyone to feel like I take that lightly. I don't. Obviously, if I have a patient, and I have, as you can see right here. Hey y'all, so I am filming live from the bathroom. So I arrived, I guess I can take this off since I'm in here. I arrived at work today to find that I only had 2 patients. This unit I work on is super busy. So I was like, okay, anytime I am assigned 1 or 2 patients, I already know the deal. I'm being assigned to a COVID positive patient. And so I'm gonna take y'all along with me today because I want people to be well informed that this disease affects all populations of people, not just ICU or medical surgical patients. OB patients are affected as well. So let's go. So first thing I'm gonna do is change my scrub. So I'm gonna take this necklace off too. We wear these, I guess they call them royal blue scrubs. And I'm gonna change it into some hospital issued scrubs. And I'm gonna put my scrub cap on so that I am well protected. And I'll be wearing these back on tomorrow. So this video is probably going to be choppy because I'm recording when I can. Y'all, being in that full head to toe plastic gown, N95, face mask, face shield, this bonnet, I feel like I'm going to spontaneously combust, okay? So, let me see if I can sit this somewhere. I'm looking down on y'all. So, my patient, so you guys know I work postpartumly, and, sorry, trying to multitask here. You guys know I work postpartumly, so my patient is a postpartum patient, and I went to greet her and medicate her, and she had to use the bathroom, so I had to get her up so she could empty her bladder. So I was in there for probably about 15 minutes because I discovered she needs a new IV, which caused me to be in the room longer. So ultimately, when we're taking care of patients who are exposed to COVID or COVID positive, you want to cluster your care and do everything that you can do while you're in the room, so you don't have to continue to go in and out of the room to decrease exposure for you and the patient. So it is only it's only 10 o'clock. I am only 3 hours into my shift. I have donned and doffed twice. My skin was pouring under that gown. Oh my goodness. I am premenopausal, I'm pretty sure. And I feel like I'm in a hot suit every time I have to gown up. So I hopefully shouldn't have to go back into my patient's room for anything for several hours. However, if she needs something, I'm gonna be gloving and gowning and masking up again, aka donning and doffing my PPE, which I'm super grateful to have, by the way. It's just hot. It's hot. Like, all my friends who were in New York, all my friends who have just deployed to places, kudos to y'all, because I don't know if I'm about that life this year. Man, it's the year of the nurse. Who knew? Who knew this would be the version of the year of the nurse? I certainly didn't. I'm so tired. It is 6:10, and I'm going up for the last time to round up my patient, see if she needs anything. I've been in here quite a bit tonight, although I tried to cluster care. There were just times that she needed me to come address some needs for her, so it's been a constant back and forth of donning PPE, and I'm just praying that I did everything the right way. It is what it is. Let me go on in here and medicate my patient, and it's time to go home. I'm ready to go home. So you can see that I have definitely taken care of a patient who is COVID positive. And actually, I've taken care of 3 patients who have been COVID positive. And so one of the misconceptions is that we don't take care of COVID-19 positive patients in OB. And I'm here to tell you we do. Patients who are pregnant are still susceptible to this disease, unfortunately. So as healthcare workers, yes, we're exposed to COVID. So how do we cope with that? Because 1, you don't want to become sick yourself. 2, you don't want to take that home and spread it to your family and the people that you come in contact with. So how do we combat that? Well, you have to educate yourself. You got to know your hospital's policy and procedure as it relates to COVID-19. If you are a travel nurse like myself, you have to know your agency's policy as it relates to COVID-19, because you want to, I would assume that you want to be sure you are protected and covered should you contract COVID-19 and have to self-quarantine, because it is possible. And so for me as a traveler, before I took my current travel assignment, I reached out to my agency to find out, what am I covered for if for some reason I'm exposed to COVID-19 and I have to be self-quarantined? Like, am I still going to be compensated? Because I don't feel like I should be penalized as an employee or a contractor, because I'm putting myself at risk by going to work. So why should I be penalized? And so in my case, my agency does provide those resources if you have to self-quarantine. But I've talked to some other people who were considering travel contracts or who were on travel assignments, and they unfortunately contracted COVID-19 or were exposed, and they had to self-quarantine and they weren't compensated, which I think kind of sucks. It really does suck. So you want to know your hospital's policy and protocol about COVID-19 exposure. And if you are a travel nurse, you definitely want to make sure that you know what you're covered for before you accept that contract. Once you know that protocol and those procedures, you want to make sure that you follow your specific facility or your agency's procedures, because every hospital is different. Like when I donned and doffed in that video that you guys saw, I put that on my social media because it's not something that I do often. I don't work in an area where we typically would wear PPE like that. And so I put that on my social media and I asked the question, how did I do? Like, I welcomed feedback because, you know, I want to be as educated as possible. And I got some really good feedback, but some of the feedback that I got was, well, you should double glove. Well, when I looked at the policy and protocol at my hospital, they didn't recommend that. I think it's smart to double glove so that you don't possibly contaminate yourself when you are removing your gown. Makes sense to me. One of my other nurse friends, what did she tell me? Not to wear the surgical mask over your N95, whereas the hospital that I work at, that is their policy and protocol. And then my friend was telling me that they did away with that policy. They no longer do that. So you want to be sure that you are following your facility's protocol, because that's like the law where you're working at. And if anything happens, you want to be sure that you are following the policy and procedure per that hospital so that you are covered and protected. You want to wear your PPE. Like, please, 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 don't skip steps. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm a woman of a certain age, like premenopausal. I know. People always tell me, you look like you're a hot little 35. I wish I was. I was 35 a long time ago. But no, for real, it's hot as all outdoors when you put that daggone whole thing on. It is hot. My friends who were in New York for all those weeks and months, sis, I don't know how you did that. I don't know how y'all did that. I could not stand it for the times that I had to don and doff just to go into the room to provide patient care just for that 12-hour shift. And I did it about 6 times. And that's another thing that I want to say. Make sure you are clustering your care when you are working with a COVID positive patient, because you want to minimize your risk for exposure, and you don't want to have to keep going in and out of that room using those resources to don and doff every time you have to go in there, because you have to wear a new set of gloves, new gown. You're going to reuse your face masks, your N95 and your face shield, but you gotta keep donning and doffing. You don't want to do that. You want to be sure that you are wearing the PPE that your hospital has hopefully provided for you. I think that we definitely have gotten away from places that don't have PPE. I don't know. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know. I have not worked at a hospital thus far, and I've been at three different facilities since this all started. So each facility that I've been at, I've had the proper PPE to take care of my patients, thankfully. But you want to make sure you are wearing that PPE. Don't skip steps. Don't, because you're like me, I had to go in that room 6 times just because it was hot, and just because you're tired of having to put all that crap on. Don't do that to yourself. Wear the PPE when you go into that room. You want to minimize your exposure. Like, be smart about it. Hand washing. We all know this, but I gotta say it. Make sure you are washing your hands. And I know that we have the hand gel available, but my hands are raw and dry because I have just been really preferring soap and water. Like, I will use the quick pump hand sanitizer when I'm going in and out of my patient's room, just a patient who's not COVID positive. But definitely when I have been assigned to these patients who are COVID positive, I am using soap and water. You want to make sure that you are washing your hands. Don't rush through it. Sing those ABCs, whatever you learned in nursing school about the length of time that you're supposed to wash your hands, the happy birthday song. Make sure you are washing your hands. I cannot say that enough. We know our hands carry lots of bacteria. And even though we are wearing gloves, when we go into the patient's room, you should be wearing gloves. When you're taking care of that patient, you want to make sure that you are definitely up on your hand hygiene. Protect yourself during your shift with wearing your PPE, and you want to protect yourself afterwards. So at the hospital where I'm working now, if we are taking care of a COVID positive patient, we have the option to have scrubs to put on to wear for the shift. And I chose that option. So on my mother baby unit, we wear royal blue scrubs, which are our own personal scrubs. But when I had to take care of that COVID positive patient, I definitely requested a set of scrubs because I don't want to take anything home with me. And, you know, although things can attach to your skin, you don't want to have that on your clothing. So I definitely wore the scrubs from the hospital, and when my shift was over, I changed back into my personal scrubs. When I got home, I stripped down. As a habit, I do not wear my shoes in the house, period. And so shoes off at the door. Now, I have heard of people that say they strip down at the door. They just not playing. They're not wearing their clothes inside at all. For me, because I changed into a different set of scrubs while I was working, I felt comfortable with just coming home, taking those clothes off, taking a shower. Your hair, when I was taking care of that patient, the first time I took care of a COVID patient, I did not cover my hair. But this time I did. I wore my scrub cap so that my hair was covered during that time. And I did not wash my hair when I came home from work that morning, but that is one of the recommendations, that you wash your hair. So, you know, use the information that you have as you will, but you definitely want to make sure that you are protecting yourself. Not only are you protecting yourself, you're protecting your family when you come home by not wearing those scrubs, or not sitting like on your furniture, on your bed, wearing your sneakers or your work shoes into the house. You just don't want to be doing those things because you're bringing bacteria, you're carrying germs, and you want to minimize your risk as well as your family's risk. So we got to do what we got to do working in healthcare right now. There's lots of chit chat in the healthcare and the nursing community where I've heard nurses say, I'm done with being a nurse because I am shooketh about this COVID-19 situation. And I can't say I blame you, sis. I can't blame you at all. Like, if I were in a situation where I didn't have to work to earn a living wage right now, yeah, I might do the same thing. Like, people are being creative about, walking away from the bedside to do other things because it is crazy out here in these COVID streets. And I can't say that I blame you one bit or judge you if that is what you choose to do, because it's almost a matter of life or death. There were plenty of people who, in the beginning of this COVID situation, where healthcare workers died as a result of just doing their job, going to work. And that is scary. Like, nobody wants to go to work and think, I'm going to die because I was doing my job. So nobody wants to go to work and feel like they're going to be harmed or become sick from doing their job. Like, we want to do our jobs. We want to take care of our patients. We definitely don't want to be negligent. So I don't want that to be the message from this video. We want to do our jobs, but we want to be safe while doing that. And so I want you guys to be safe. I want you to follow your hospital's policy and protocol. I want you to wear your PPE no matter how uncomfortable it is. I want you to be washing your hands during and after your shift and protecting yourself as you travel back home to your families, okay? So I hope you guys found some value in this. Congratulations to the 2 ladies who won your t-shirts, because nurses do get to call the shots in their career. So I want you to wear your t-shirts proudly. And if you guys have any input on how you're dealing with this COVID-19 crisis, working in healthcare, please drop down in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. I think that, it's a great dialogue to have. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. And I thank you guys for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.